Dorothy's about to step off the deep end. Did Leanne try to kill Julian? And May is finally here. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to WeSibs, West Coast, East Coast Siblings, where we break down your favorite movies and TV shows. Tonight, we are talking episode 9. We got one episode left, episode 9 of Servant. We're going to break it all down. This is going to be a recap, review, biggest takeaways, all rolled into one video. So hit the subscribe button and click the bell. Let's get into this one. Grab a snack. Here we go. Before we dive in, hope you like the new set. I've been trying out a couple different looks. Okay, so diving right into the episode called Goose, it picks up where we left off in the last episode, of course, with George missing. Now, we all know he got hit by a car, and even though the accident didn't seem fatal, he's gone for all intents and purposes. We have no idea where he is. But Dorothy, for some reason, thinks this means that he went to go get Jericho, and he's bringing him for a nice Christmas lunch. Now, we know there was a message that said reunite them Christmas Eve. Now, whether that means the cult is coming to them to bring Jericho to them, which we find out a little bit later in the episode what that really means, or it could mean that they all die, because as we know in this episode, a couple characters come very, very close to death. So Dorothy, we always knew was crazy and was always close to jumping off that edge, but in this episode it goes tenfold with her actually creating a noose in the basement. And she tells Leanne later in the episode, oh, Sean can't know about that, that's a contingency plan. But it wasn't really well hidden. I mean, does Sean never go in the basement? He was just in the basement with Julian trying some wine. I think they were in the basement. Either way, it's not very closed off, and Leanne found it pretty easily, so I'm not sure how she was trying to hide that. But speaking of Leanne and Julian obviously got some awkward tension going on there because they had slept together in the last episode, and Julian wants nothing to do with it. He says it's a mistake, and we finally know what's happening with Natalie. So she's okay, apparently, from the voicemails. She's been calling Julian, and he won't pick up. We saw dozens of calls, missed calls and things like that from Natalie saying, let me help you. Why are you doing this? He goes on a substance abuse rampage in this episode, which ultimately leads to his death? I don't know, because the way Leanne was coming on to him after, which, by the way, kudos to some of you guys in the comments who were saying last week that her experience with Julian in the last episode has increased her powers. She's had an enhanced the experience seems to have enhanced her powers. And when Julian was standoffish to her, kind of gave her the cold shoulder, I was thinking that she was responsible for him dying. He was medically dead. Now, of course, I think the substances definitely had something to do with that as well. But, you know, I had mentioned in the last episode about her powers being kind of similar to Wanda's chaos magic. If you watch the WandaVision show on Disney Plus, her emotional state and her desires can mess with probability and chances, and she can kind of make things happen without really making them happen, a la the car accident that happened in the last episode with George. So the jury's still out on that one. I think Leanne had something to do with it, and when she realized what her emotions had caused to happen, she obviously brought him back in this episode. Although I do think it would have been better to just leave him dead, because if you think about it, no one has died in this show since Jericho. So, you know, it would have been such a shocker, and it really would have shown Leanne's level of power, killing 2 people in just 2 episodes. I think that would have been crazy. But of course, Julian's a fan favorite. But man, he was having some trouble. Christmas was, I guess, a hard time for him, as he was just throwing him back, and just he was having a difficult time, obviously conflicted by the fact that he had cheated on Natalie, etc. Oh, and yes, for those of you wondering if Leanne has powers, that was pretty much confirmed. Apple TV has been releasing behind the scenes episodes with M. Night on their YouTube channel, and he pretty much confirmed that when Leanne gets emotional, things happen. So obviously I'm paraphrasing, but yeah, it's all but confirmed Leanne has abilities, and they've been enhanced by, once again, her experience. And the big takeaway, guys, we finally got the arrival of May, the character that George said was coming for Leanne in the last episode. He said, she will come for you. And Leanne was feeling herself. She said, I can handle her. So she's here now. She showed up in a black, looked like funeral outfit. Really, really creepy. Not, you know, at midnight, it's just not the kind of thing you want to be watching by yourself at midnight. And it's anybody's guess what happens next. So there's one episode left. Is it all going to hit the fan? Who knows? But let me know your final predictions and theories down in the comments below. Of course, Wednesday, I'll be doing the behind the scenes episode for this episode that came out, where we'll dive into what M. Night has to say about this episode and get a little bit more insight before the finale. So again, let me know what you think in the comments. So like the video if you're liking the video, subscribe and click the bell so that you don't miss any more Servant. It's about to be a crazy one. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.